Forecaster Dante Brown from the Weather Advanced Storm Prediction Center here with your Hurricane Season 2013 as well as your Summer 2013 outlooks. And we're going to go through a number of different factors. We're going to have a few minutes to go through this, and hopefully I can explain all the questions that you might have or might have had about my summer season, 2013 season, and hurricane outlook for the 2013 season questions. Now, most likely to start off, most likely we'll have a neutral year when it comes to the ESNO, and usually La Nina years are better if you want a hurricane season, if you want an active hurricane season, which no one wants. But typically, active hurricane seasons are in La Nina years. Right now, if you were technical about when a weak La Nina, it's supposed to be neutral, possibly moving to El Nino. I think we'll start the La Nina effects, the neutral effects for this year. Cooler than average Gulf and Western Atlantic temperatures are currently the current state right now. And I'm comparing this year a lot to 2005, where we had Katrina, Wilma, and Rita, those three hurricanes late in the season. Big hurricanes, and the threat of hurricanes along the East Coast this year is greater than it was in 2013. So that's another aspect that we're going to keep in mind, that I had as a factor when it comes to this year's Atlantic hurricane season. So now putting it all into perspective, I'm expecting 18 named storms, 15 of them I expect them to become hurricanes. 5 major hurricanes and major hurricanes to strike the United States of America. I think they're going to be at least, or possibly at most, around 3, maybe 4. Hopefully we're leaning towards that lower number. And the ones that you see in blue, the names up here that you see in blue, are the names that are actually, I actually expect to be named by these storms. So that's what we're expecting when it comes to the hurricane season. Now, when it comes to the actual areas that I expect to be affected, remember I just mentioned that the East Coast is under greater threat this year than it was last year. We're going to examine as to why that's going to be the case. But first off, we're going to look at the Atlantic temperatures. Current Atlantic temperatures, this is May 22nd. The surface temperatures, as you can see, Gulf of Mexico currently, we're temperatures in the 70s and 80s, which is a couple degrees below average for this time of year, and you can come right along the eastern coast of the United States. The temperatures are actually a couple degrees below average, but if you come over here, down towards the Atlantic, down towards the central, southeastern parts of the Atlantic, south central parts of the Atlantic, you'll notice the temperatures are actually 70s, 80s, and even in the Caribbean, the temperatures are in the 70s and 80s, upper 70s, low 80s. So these are ripe conditions in the Caribbean and southeastern parts of the Atlantic where hurricanes are early in the season. So I think if we do see some storms, they'll be down there. And here's why I don't think we'll see them early on affecting the United States. I expect it to be a later than average hurricane season. As I said in my outlook, about maybe August, late June, July through August and September, where you'll see the greater storm threat like you saw in the year 2005, because the temperatures right now, if you look at the anomalies, the temperatures is May 18th, a couple degrees below average compared to the Gulf of Mexico, which is not too surprising since we got a really cool start to this spring and summer. You come back over here to the Gulf and into the Atlantic, the northwestern parts of the Atlantic. You're noticing a lot of these blue shades over here. That's about 1 to 2 degrees below average. But if you come down here towards the Caribbean, and you go out there towards the southeastern parts of the Atlantic, you'll realize that you got temperatures a few degrees above average, which is where I expect the storms to be early on. Now, as we head on into this map right here, you're going to notice that here's where I expect the greatest factor for hurricane development to be. You come along the Gulf Coast towards Texas all the way up to Louisiana. up to about the Florida coast. I think that's where you're going to see the greatest threat for hurricane landfall. And over here in the yellow along the Florida coast, I expect the western section of the Florida coast, I expect there to be a slight chance that we don't expect you to have an immediate landfall. If hurricane strikes on the other side, you're going to have some negative effects. But immediate landfall on the other side, and as you can notice, as you go up the coast, you're going to see farther north than usual. You're seeing high risk and moderate risk, even in the mid-Atlantic, around DC, Baltimore. You're going to notice that as well as you head up into the Jersey coast, which you don't need anymore. Anything else? Well, no one really needs it, but you don't need anything else, especially after what happened Sandy last year on the Jersey coast. Now here's my summer factors. Most likely we'll have a negative NAO, a positive NAO. If you look at the pattern that we've been in for the past several months, it's been colder than average. Typically I've noticed it typically after March. Positive NAO, usually cooler temperatures, negative NAO, hotter temperatures. So at this time we're noticing a lot more spurts of positive NAOs. I expect that to be a real factor, keeping temperatures cool. Patterns seem to be following the 2005 setup, where things warmed up a little bit later. You have some cool periods and then you have some real hot periods. So that's the temperature pattern that we're necessarily seeing, less severe weather than usual. And then you see all those other two topics that I didn't get a chance to show you. They're talked about on our website. Now here's the official outlook. We'll notice here, we'll start off with the mid-Atlantic and the northeast. Look up here towards mid-Atlantic. I expect it to be not as hot as last year, slightly warmer than average overall, but you'll have temperatures, spurts where it's going to be cooler than average. Like you're going to see next week, temperature's going to be about a few degrees below average in the 70s. You're going to notice a lot more of that this summer. We're going to have some spurts in the 70s and then some spurts in the 90s. We have yet to have a 90-degree day in the northeast, which is much of the least. Central plains, I know you guys are being affected by a lot of severe weather today, and I expect to be less than the average severe weather season. Gulf Coast, that's where the primary hurricane threat will be. When you go up to the Pacific Northwest, you're going to notice that it's supposed to be above average temperatures, about average temperatures. You have some warm spells, and it's going to be cool and dry in the west. Now, let's be weather safe, not sorry. This is a segment that I started because a lot of people have not been prepared, especially since it's been a late start, since this has been a weather season. A lot of people have not been prepared for tornadoes or any sort of other scenario. So this segment is to help us be safe and be prepared, and what we need to do to be prepared. It's on the website, made a plan for tornado preparedness, especially if you live in Tornado Alley, Texas, Oklahoma, Nevada. You need to put plans because then you're going to notice a lot of things like what happened here in Oklahoma, where a lot of people weren't prepared. They didn't have storm shelter. Some people can't afford them. But it is a really big necessity that you should try to have if you can have one. You live in the area, so you can have a basement, have a plan set. You need to go somewhere else, if you need to go somewhere else, let somebody know your plan first and foremost. So there are a number of different things that you can do. They're all outlined on the website at preparedness.com, so if you get a chance, go check that out, because it's very imperative that you know this early on. Alright, this is Pastor Dante from Brown World with the Weather Master Projection Center, and we hope you enjoy this forecast. The winter forecast will be released in the month of June, and hopefully we'll have more updates on that as time goes by. Alright, take care guys.